5 years ago this week, the Syrian civil war broke out, setting off a tidal wave of refugees. Millions have fled, with many risking their lives in boats that are not seaworthy, all in a desperate bid to reach Europe. Last fall, we followed a group of American moms who wanted to help these families, many with small children, by delivering baby carriers. Inspired by efforts like that, another group of American moms has set out to provide comfort to the youngest victims.
Two of our producers who made that first trip for that other story in the fall traveled back to Greece a few weeks ago to see these moms in action. Their story begins in a sea of orange, piles of discarded life jackets, each representing a harrowing trip across an unforgiving sea, all in search of a better future.
Lesbos, we went to one of several life jacket graves. Words just can't describe how sad it is. Where we're playing this game of let's see if we can find a real one. And one after another is just fake, filled with styrofoam.
I was in the military and I've been following the Middle Eastern conflict for years now. I would do the same thing. I would pack up my stuff and try to get my 15-month-old baby to safety.
I live in California. I have 2 kids, my son Laith and my daughter Helena. It was difficult leaving my kids behind. I just felt so compelled to do something.
I live in Boulder, Colorado. I have a family, I have 3 small children. I am here working with the Operation Refugee Child team.
We basically supply aid and relief packs to refugee children.
A backpack is something very simple. The items that we include are items that we take for granted daily.
A lot of the needs were just things as a mother we felt they would appreciate.
The second the kids got into the bus and we could see through the window that they were going through their stuff, and this little boy pulled out like the crayons and the gloves, and he was looking at them and trying them on, and then he looked back at us and waved.
He couldn't take his eyes off of us, and he just couldn't stop saying thank you. Lesbos is something out of a postcard or a magazine. Usually people associate the sea with being just something very soothing, very calming. It's just hard to put into words how something that you used to associate so much with beauty is now, you just associate it with tragedy.
We were able to go to Karatepe. The people there are lovely, and they actually don't refer to them as refugees. They're guests.
You're 9? I was sitting there kneeling down the same way that I would kneel down and put a jacket on my son. There's just no difference between them. They both deserve the shelter, the safety. And he was just so happy. He was so appreciative.
Where are they from?
They're from Homs, Syria.
Were your kids afraid?
She's saying that this one was basically drugged with Benadryl. And her older daughters, they were so scared they fell asleep in her lap. This is her nephew. They don't know where his father is. For the past 3 years, he's been missing.
How does it make you feel that you have to leave Syria?
She said it was the hardest thing she had to do, and she's leaving her home and her country. She's good spirits. She's positive. She also says that she's getting used to it. She's getting used to all the suffering.
Our grandchildren and our great-great-grandchildren are going to judge us by the compassion that we showed during this crisis.
They're just like us. Their mothers, their fathers, they had careers, they had a home. They never asked for this.
Patrice Poulter and Jen Ting Hong are with us now. We're also super emotional. I know it was for you guys, too. That woman, when she said, our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren will judge us on our compassion. really kind of sums it up.
Yeah, no, it does. And, and I think, these are backpacks full of items that they need and they so desperately need. But, I mean, I think the bigger symbol is that when these moms were giving out the backpacks, it's telling these kids that their lives matter and that they exist, because there's just this general sense of a whole generation that feels like they don't matter. So, and the mom put so much thought into the backpacks and what should go in. And
what kind of things?
Yeah, so right here, it's been unseasonably cold in Europe this year, and so it's been snowing, and so you have all the kids that are arriving and they're having frostbite. So they, they pack little warm booties and fleece. Another thing too is they included like a whistle as a safety device for the parents. But what was really unexpected for us is when we were in the camps, the kids viewed it as a play toy. So all over the camps, you have all these kids running around blowing the whistles, and for a brief moment, you actually forgot that you were in a refugee camp and that they were acting like kids. So they put a lot of thought into what they, especially from like a mother perspective, what they thought they would need and what a mother would need as well. So
it's really incredible that a few moms from this country can have so much impact and do so much over there just with a dream.
Yes, and this is only a group of 5 moms from the entire country, and they've been able to get corporate donations. You saw in the tape, some people had Patagonia jackets, they had Patagonia hats. Cliff Bar was a big, corporate sponsor. So for 5 moms to sit in their California homes to be able to put all of this together, I think is really inspirational.
And people can actually customize a backpack, right, if they'd like to help.
So that's their new initiative. The moms at Operation Refugee Child want to give you the opportunity to really deliver whatever you want to the hands of refugee children. Wow. They have a packing list, and you just check off whatever you have, whether it's for a mom, whether it's for a boy or a girl. It's really fantastic.
And there's the information there on the screen, and we'll also put it on the website as well. A fantastic story.
Yeah,
thank you so much for sharing it with us on this Sunday morning. Yeah. Thank you. We are back after these messages. That was great.
You guys.